Okay, let's dive into something, well, quite extraordinary that you shared with us. It's this audio source, and the title is Hillary Caught on Tape, Birthing Alien Life Form .mp3. I mean, that title alone is
Yeah,
a lot to take in, right?
it really is, yeah. And for this deep dive, our mission is basically to unpack what's actually in this source material. We need to understand the specific claims, the ideas being presented, no matter how unusual they might seem.
Exactly. And look, because this source definitely gets into some pretty wild territory and frankly politically charged stuff, we have to be absolutely clear here. Our goal is purely to report what the source says. We're not endorsing anything, any claims, any viewpoints. This is just about understanding the content of this specific audio excerpt.
Completely agree. So, okay, let's get right into it. The most striking claim, really the heart of it, it makes this truly bizarre assertion that something went in through your mouth and then apparently came out of your mouth inside you from Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Inside her. Okay. So it actually claims something physically emerged from her mouth. And how does the source even try to describe that? What does it use?
Well, that's where it immediately leans on movies,
Yeah.
cinematic comparisons. It references the movie Creeps, as an analogy for something coming out of the mouth,
Okay.
Creeps. And then it gets even more specific, doesn't it? It goes right for The Exorcist.
Precisely. Linda Blair. It uses that really graphic image, the spewing green pea vomit on the priest bit from the film.
Mm.
It uses that to sort of paint a picture
Uh-huh.
of this supposed event. What's fascinating is how it uses these horror analogies, right, to give this really visceral, disturbing quality to the claim.
And it doesn't stop there. It then jumps, kind of jarringly, to Team America. How does that fit in? The Kim Jong-il puppet reveal. Yeah, it uses that moment, the shocking revelation. It uses that as a springboard. It goes from the puppet thing to this idea of an advanced species that actually escaped to the stars.
Mm.
The implication seems to be that this entity from Hillary Clinton is somehow tied to this, hidden superior being escaping. So the movie references aren't just descriptions, they're used rhetorically, it seems,
Yeah.
linking it all to horror, hidden identity, something otherworldly, getting away.
Okay, but here's where it gets really tangled, I think. The source uses this same event, this bizarre birthing, to argue that Hillary Clinton is incredibly healthy. How does that work?
Yes, that's one of the most confusing parts. It makes this claim incredibly healthy because of this outlandish event. But then, almost in the same breath, it lists this whole string of serious health problems it says she has. Things like being in the hospital for a year for brain surgeries, hardly walking, always falling down, looking like she's having seizures, trying to get Parkinson's medication, which it links to WikiLeaks. And canceling speeches because of coughing fits it ties to arrhythmias and heart problems. It's a long list.
So wait, the source is saying she's super healthy because she birthed an alien, while also saying she has all these severe debilitating conditions. It just completely blows up its own argument about her health within seconds, doesn't it?
It certainly makes you question the internal logic, yeah. Or, what the
So,
source is prioritizing, maybe shock value, or a political attack over coherence.
yeah.
And that ties right into how it uses this whole bizarre event in the movie stuff for its political point.
Right, because it pivots immediately from the, the Exorcist comparison and the alien thing
Yeah.
straight into some really intense political accusations.
Exactly. It claims that when it comes to, and this is a direct quote, overthrowing countries and killing hundreds of thousands of Christians, Linda Blair ain't got jack crap on Hillary Rodham Clinton. It directly weaponizes that horror analogy against a political figure, uses the extreme movie reference to amplify its own political charge.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And it also touches briefly on other political things, too, right? I think you mentioned the email scandal.
That's right, yeah. And it alleges the DNC stole from Bernie Sanders, describing that whole situation as disturbing heat.
Okay.
So it shows the source is weaving together different threads of political criticism alongside these really out there fantastical claims about health and aliens.
So if we synthesize what we've pulled from just this one audio source, it's this really strange mix. Specific negative health claims, a central, very bizarre event described using graphic movie metaphors from horror and sci-fi, and these intense political accusations, all bundled together in one narrative.
Yeah, that gives us a pretty clear picture of the specific content, the specific claims being made within this source material, which, was our goal for this deep dive, just
Yeah.
understanding what's in it.
Right, and that brings us to the end of this particular exploration. So here's something to think about. When a source blends claims about real-world health, specific political events, and then elements straight out of horror and sci-fi films, What does that unique combination tell you about the kind of story it's trying to build and share with its audience? Something to mull over.